I'm Chad Rounder. I'm a financial advisor with Pinnacle Financial Partners in Memphis, and I'm joined today with Andrew Arbogast from Arbo's Cheese Dip to talk about sort of his company and how things came about. Andrew, how are you doing today?
Awesome, Chad. Thank y'all for having me on.
So we're doing this as part of Veterans Small Business Week, Andrew. So why don't we start there with your service as a veteran? You can kind of tell us about that.
Yeah. So I served in the United States Army from 2007 to 2017. Did 10 years, and my career was really focused on the leadership component. So I was an officer and advanced to the rank of captain, and was fortunate to be able to fly Apache helicopters while commanding troops overseas.
Well, thank you for your service. And then let's dive into Arbo's cheese dip here.
Man, Arbo's cheese dip, it's my dad's recipe. It's got these bold spices and mouth-watering flavors. You can eat it cold. That's my favorite way to eat it, but also warm it up and use it as a topping. It all began actually during my time in service when I was deployed to Afghanistan, and we just didn't have great food while you're deployed and in a combat environment. Had my parents like ship us these specialty cheeses and meats, and we would break bread before mission, and it was just a small thing that I could see raise the spirit of the guys, and never thought anything would come from that. This idea just spurred one night with friends about, hey, maybe you should start selling your dad's cheese dip. Little did I know how much it would actually take to scale this thing. And from starting, in my kitchen and selling it on my doorstep to, today where we're in dozens of states and hundreds of stores, financials and cash flow is always the heartbeat of what you have. And if you don't manage that correctly or seek the advice from good counsel and good banks, then you're on your own. Chad, I think you and I met, we were introduced by one of my partners who had banked with Pinnacle. And so it was a trusted connection. And right off the bat, I noticed the difference from where we were banking previously to where we moved to with Pinnacle. And when it did come time for me to scale, more or less getting into a larger retailer like Kroger, it was at that time that we talked. I was able to remove the financial expertise from my desk and allow you all to help mentor me through all of this. And you being a phone call away, and this understanding my sense of urgency when I needed it the most, it just allowed me to continue doing the things that I do the best.
Right. So we started with a fairly small line of credit.
Once we got into Kroger and we really needed capital to deliver on promotional discounts and also buy more materials and ingredients, because one thing you don't want to do is miss an order because you don't have the materials on hand. So we did tie up a decent amount of capital, and we received that through an SBA loan that was like lightning speed with you all. The additional capital we received from Pinnacle, it allowed us to grow from 100, 200 stores to 2,000 in like 20 states.
So then we get into the not so fun part, right? We found
Right.
a new co-packer. We have, for all intents and purposes, sort of unlimited capacity. You get flooded with orders.
I'm just filling orders. I'm not checking in. I'm not, doing the necessary advertising, marketing, and demos that are required for a new product to get on the shelf. And just as quickly as you get on the shelf, you can get discontinued. And so we did lose a few, but Pinnacle didn't lose confidence and hope in me. With our constant communication, Chad, I think you realize like we see what's going on. We see the challenges. We're going to increase your line of credit to help get you through. I was able to sleep at night, right?
And so let's talk about here in the very recent past, sort of what's happened now and how you're feeling.
If it wasn't for the trust and faith that you all had in me, I wouldn't be having this conversation right now. And so, thankfully, the future of Arbogast Foods is not only strong, but I'm now focusing additional efforts on selling our products to the government. And I don't mean just cheese dip. And when I say government, I'm looking out for our troops. They deserve delicious, tasty meals. It doesn't matter. when, in the field, deployed, at home. And if I can provide them with sauces and high quality meats at an affordable price, and that's just my new mission now, uplifting the morale of our soldiers, and doing that through Arbogast Foods and seeing where this thing can go. At this point, I feel, pretty confident that there's a bright future ahead of us.